a living room is more than just a place to sit. It's where the entire home expresses itself most honestly. When designed thoughtfully, it becomes a space that feels open, grounded, and deeply connected to its surroundings. One of the most powerful ways to achieve this is by dissolving the boundary between indoors and outdoors. Imagine a room where full-height wooden doors and expansive glass panels allow daylight to pour in effortlessly, where the view of a carefully designed garden becomes part of the interior composition rather than something separate. Natural light plays a defining role here. As sunlight shifts throughout the day, it reveals textures: rough stone walls, warm wood grains, subtle concrete finishes, each material telling its own story. These layered surfaces create depth without overwhelming the space, allowing the room to feel rich yet calm. The palette remains rooted in nature. Soft beiges, warm earth tones, gentle greens, and muted neutrals that echo the landscape just beyond the glass. Furniture in such a space should feel intentional but not rigid. Low, comfortable seating encourages relaxation while maintaining visual openness. A sculptural coffee table or a handcrafted wooden piece can act as a quiet focal point, while soft textiles, linen, cotton, woven fibers add comfort and tactility. The arrangement should always respond to the outdoors, subtly orienting itself toward the garden, inviting both conversation and contemplation. Decor becomes an extension of this narrative rather than an afterthought. Indoor plants mirror the greenery outside, while ceramics, natural fabrics, and artisanal objects add personality without clutter. Even the smallest details, like the way curtains move with the breeze or how light filters through leaves, contribute to the atmosphere. What truly elevates a living room, though, is the sense of flow. When flooring materials extend outward, when thresholds are minimized, when the transition feels seamless, the space begins to breathe. It no longer feels confined. Instead, it expands into its environment. In the end, a well-designed living room isn't about filling a space. It's about creating a feeling. A bedroom should feel like a quiet retreat, a space that naturally slows you down the moment you enter. It isn't just about comfort. It's about creating an environment that restores you, both physically and mentally. One of the most effective ways to achieve this is by allowing the room to connect gently with the outdoors. When full-height doors or expansive windows open toward a thoughtfully designed garden, the room begins to feel larger, calmer, and more alive. The presence of greenery, filtered daylight, and fresh air subtly transforms the entire experience of the space. Light is essential in shaping this atmosphere. Soft morning sunlight entering through sheer curtains can create a gentle start to the day, while diffused daylight throughout the room highlights the textures and materials that define the space. Walls with subtle finishes, whether softly plastered, lightly textured, or detailed with natural stone, add depth without demanding attention. Flooring in warm wood or smooth stone grounds the room, making it feel stable and serene. The bed naturally becomes the focal point, but it doesn't need to dominate. A well-proportioned bed with layered textiles, crisp sheets, soft throws, and tactile cushions creates a sense of quiet luxury. Surrounding elements should support rather than compete. Simple side tables, warm lighting, and perhaps a comfortable chair placed near the view, inviting a moment of pause. The layout works best when it acknowledges the outdoors, gently orienting the bed or seating toward natural light and greenery. Color plays a subtle but powerful role. Soft neutrals, earthy tones, and gentle greens help maintain a sense of calm, allowing the mind to rest. These tones reflect the natural world outside, reinforcing a seamless visual connection between the interior and the garden beyond. Nothing feels abrupt. Everything transitions smoothly. Decor, in this context, is less about display and more about feeling. A few carefully chosen objects, ceramic pieces, natural fabrics, indoor plants bring warmth and personality without overwhelming the space. Even the movement of curtains or the shadow of leaves cast on the wall becomes part of the room's character. Ultimately, a well-designed bedroom isn't defined by how much it contains, but by how it makes you feel. When light, material, and nature come together in balance, the room becomes more than a place to sleep. A patio has a unique role in a home. It sits right at the intersection of architecture and nature, acting as a space that is neither fully indoors nor completely outdoors, but something far more fluid. When designed thoughtfully, it becomes a place where daily life naturally spills out, where the comfort of interior living meets the openness of a garden. The experience of a patio begins with its connection to the surrounding landscape. A well-composed garden isn't just something you look at from the patio, it becomes part of the space itself. When the transition is seamless, with materials flowing outward and levels aligned carefully, the boundary almost disappears. Stone flooring might extend into garden pathways, or wooden decking might gently lead toward greenery, creating a sense of continuity that feels effortless. Natural light plays a defining role here. Unlike interior spaces, the patio experiences light more directly, more dynamically. As the sun moves, shadows from pergolas, beams, or nearby trees create constantly shifting patterns across the floor and walls. This movement brings a sense of life to the space, making it feel ever-changing yet calm. The use of overhead structures, whether solid or partially open, helps filter this light, allowing it to feel soft and comfortable without losing its connection to the outdoors. Material selection is crucial in shaping the character of a patio. Surfaces that age gracefully, like textured stone, warm wood, or subtle plaster finishes, help the space feel grounded and authentic. These materials not only respond well to the elements, but also create a tactile richness that enhances the overall experience. When combined thoughtfully, they add depth without overwhelming the senses. Furniture should feel relaxed, yet intentional. Seating arrangements that encourage conversation, a central table that anchors the space, and perhaps a dining setup for shared meals all contribute to making the patio functional and inviting. The layout often works best when it responds to views. Orienting seating toward the garden, water features, or even open sky. Decor, in this context, becomes an extension of both the architecture and the landscape. Planters, textiles, and simple objects add warmth, but they should never compete with the natural surroundings. Instead, they complement them, echoing colors, textures, and forms found in the garden. Climbing plants, soft fabrics, and subtle lighting can all enhance the atmosphere without disrupting its balance. What truly defines a well-designed patio is its ability to feel like a natural extension of the home. The kitchen and dining space is where a home becomes truly alive. It's not just about cooking or eating, it's about connection, rhythm, and shared moments that unfold naturally throughout the day. When designed well, this space feels open, welcoming, and effortlessly connected to its surroundings, especially when it extends toward a thoughtfully designed garden. One of the most defining features of a successful kitchen and dining area is its relationship with natural light. Large, full-height doors and expansive windows allow daylight to pour in, transforming everyday activities into something more sensory and engaging. Morning light can energize the kitchen as it reflects off stone countertops and softly textured surfaces, while afternoon light creates a warm, inviting atmosphere around the dining table. The presence of a garden just beyond the threshold adds a dynamic backdrop. Greenery, movement, and seasonal change becoming part of the interior experience. Material selection plays a crucial role in shaping this environment. Surfaces like natural stone, textured wood, and subtle plaster finishes bring depth and authenticity. A well-crafted countertop, whether smooth or slightly tactile, becomes more than just a functional element. It anchors the kitchen visually. Cabinetry in warm, natural tones blends seamlessly with the overall palette, avoiding harsh contrasts and instead creating a sense of continuity. When these materials extend visually toward the outdoor space, the transition feels effortless. The dining area, positioned as a natural extension of the kitchen, should invite people to gather without formality. A solid, well-proportioned table becomes the heart of the space, surrounded by comfortable seating that encourages long conversations. Its placement often works best when it engages with the outdoors, aligned with a view, near an open threshold, or under soft natural light that changes throughout the day. Decor in this setting is most effective when it feels integrated rather than added. Everyday objects, ceramic bowls, glassware, linen runners, become part of the visual language.